Kristin Hersh. Check out my Live at Lime, available exclusively at the Limewire Store. This was a pretty atmospheric set, which I've been doing a lot lately, trying to learn some Appalachian folk songs that I used to know when I was a kid and have forgotten now that I'm old. And the atmosphere that comes from just tremolo and reverb out of a crappy little amp is just so swampy and beautiful that it helps me with this material, which doesn't always come naturally to me the way my own songs do. Your own songs are your bones and your muscles and your bloodstream. It's just real easy to tap into, but me and covers don't always hang because it's not my bloodstream. These songs I heard as lullabies when I was a kid, and so it's a little easier. But this set was my own material, just taken from the tour that I've been doing this year, to kind of mix and match my own material and old folk songs in the same vein. So whereas my first band, Throwing Muses, was very intricate and frenetic and dramatic, I guess, and my new band, 50 Foot Wave, is noise rock, heavy, and can also be a little dramatic, embarrassingly. This is wholly other than that. The sound only suits a small portion of my material, but this half a dozen songs sound best when played with that swampy little crappy amp sound. Songwriting has never changed for me. It started right after a car accident. When I was a teenager, I started hearing songs at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they come fully formed. It sounds like a neighbor playing a record that I haven't made yet. Bass lines and drum parts and string parts, if that's what the song needs. I have to serve the song in some way, learn it on guitar, take notes, record it, do something to give it a physical sound body, and then it will stop playing. It'll leave me alone. But if I don't take the time to serve it in some physical way, it will play louder and louder and louder until I can't hear anything else through the noise. And the distraction is it's hard to live with, for one, but I won't do that to my children or even my bandmates. So even if I just went to bed at 3, I get up at 4 and I serve the song in the front lounge of the tour bus or the hotel bathroom or wherever I am, sometimes the backyard, to not bother people, but to make the song stop playing. Throwing Muses was a band I started when I was 14, and it continues to this day, but as we were never particularly entertaining, we didn't see ourselves as belonging in the entertainment industry, even though we were on Warner Brothers Records. We kind of revolted. We didn't like the idea that bands who are allowed to play a role in the music industry are asked to dumb down their output. Good bands, anyway. Dumb bands are already dumb, but we likened it to being a firefighter who's asked to not put out so many fires. It doesn't make sense to be a professional, and to reduce your output, to make it worse, was something that we had a big problem with. So I told Warner Brothers that they had to let us go. Then I would give them my solo record in return for letting me and the Muses off the label. And we did that knowing that we would eventually die, that we had become a terminally ill band because we would no longer be able to afford to be on the road or in the studio. However, it made more sense than sucking. So we kept going as long as we could, and we had sucked. We had done that. We had decided, all right, we're going to make the dumbest song we can possibly make, and we're gonna produce it in the stupidest way we can think of, and we'll hand that to Warner Brothers, and then they'll be happy, and people can listen to a Throwing Muses record instead of something that sucks. But it was awful. I regret doing it, and I'm proud to say we never sucked again after that. But it did make us die. We ran out of money, and we never broke up. We just didn't have the funding any longer to work. So now, whenever we get the chance, we play. We played festivals this month. We just came back from Primavera Sound in Spain and All Tomorrow's Parties in England. And sometimes we'll just play in a city for the hell of it. We were here a few months ago, and my band 50 Foot Wave opened for Throwing Muses, and those are great shows. In fact, completely different fans. 50 Foot Wave's audience has no idea who Throwing Muses is, so they all leave before the headliner. Throwing Muses' audience doesn't care who's opening, so they show up long after 50 Foot Wave play, which is cool. It's interesting that it's the music rather than the personas that are playing a role in people's lives.